Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Devon. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for a Jackie Chan film called Crime Story. Now, this is a film that I have seen a couple times throughout the years, but it's not a Jackie Chan film I go back to watch a lot. Now, it's based on the true story of this kidnapping that happened in 1990 of this businessman. I want to say his name was Teddy Wan. Forgive me if I got that name wrong. Sadly, from what I understand, the kidnapping, it had a bit of a tragic ending. The guy was ultimately... I don't think they ever found the body, but it was said that he had died. And this movie definitely has much more of a happier ending. I just kind of like the Delta Force, because I know the Delta Force was based on a true story loosely, but things didn't work out as well as they did in the movie. So, hey, in the movie, I think on this one is maybe the urging of the guy's wife. Like, could you have a little bit of a more hopeful ending? Which is surprising, because you would think, okay, they want the story to be told as truthful as possible, but, maybe it's like, hey, they could live vicariously and wish for a better, I don't know. Hopefully, thankfully, I've never been through anything of that nature. But this was a much more serious film for Jackie Chan to take part of, because, of course, Jackie Chan is mostly known for comedy and those type of action films. Some are a little bit more serious, like Police Story, but very action-packed, stunt-filled. And this one, it does have its action. Some pretty decent pieces of action. But this is one of those films that I don't mind, but I never loved. Like I said, I can appreciate Jackie Chan doing something a bit more serious. And this definitely tries to have a bit of a darker feel compared to other Jackie Chan films. And I can appreciate that, because that's one thing you say about someone is, do you want them to do the same thing over and over and over again? What's the complaint we have about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? He plays the same role, it is the same type of movie over and over again. So I'm not going to get mad at someone for doing something a bit different. It's directed by Kirk Wan, and I knew that name sounded familiar. He would go on to direct The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg, Lou Diamond Phillips, and I enjoy that film. I think that film is a lot of fun. The Big Hit, to be fair, one of my favorite Mark Wahlberg films. You know how much I write about Mark Wahlberg if you watch the channel, but I do quite like that movie. So I didn't know the same guy who did this one. I know Kirk Wan and Jackie Chan had a bit of a falling out, something about, I guess Kirk Wan said Jackie Chan or someone re-edited the film without his say-so, and that kind of was a breaking of a bond, and then they never really spoke to each other again. I guess at one point there was talks of Jet Li instead starring in the film, which I did. I just see, like, initially thinking Jet Li would be more of the fit compared to Jackie Chan. But Jet Li, I think his agent, someone he knew, had been murdered by possibly crime syndicate, and he didn't really want anything to do with a movie at that point involving anything of that nature. Probably just a bit too close to home. So, yeah, you just give it to someone else. I think he would go on to do maybe Fist of Legend or something like that, which is a good movie. And like I said, Jackie Chan, I can appreciate him doing something a bit different. I mean, his character near the beginning is in this psychological service group is what it's called, because we see flashes of this action scene where he's chasing these bad guys. There's a shootout, and there's this one bit where he's almost crushed between two parked vehicles, because he's trying to go in between and something hits and it almost crushes him. I think in real life it did and fucked him up a bit, at least for a bit of time. I don't think that's the tape they used, though. At least I would like to think that wasn't the tape they used. But I mean, that was a good bit. The opening. I wouldn't say it was phenomenal or anything, but it was fine. I read one person say, "Oh my god, the first 20 minutes is so phenomenal." I'm like, really? I mean, if you haven't seen a lot of action films, maybe. Compared to a film nowadays, sure, but I mean, it was fine. Bit of a shootout, going back and forth. I did like this bit where he commandeers a car and he goes down this very steep hill. Nice wide shot to show just how fucking steep this fucking hill is. And the car, like, kind of jumps, lands, and keeps on ticking. And when the bad guys are escaping, there's these two motorcycle cops that they get fucked up. I mean, very much fucked up. One gets just taken out. The other guy kind of slides, and the bad guys move him and the motorcycle sliding back this way until it's like one of those barricades, and the motorcycle cop like hits his head. And when Jackie Chan gets there, I thought this was a very nasty bit of detail where he gets the guy's helmet off, and you see this big goop of blood drip down until he's bleeding profusely. Now, the whole movie is not that bloody and violent, but again, something different for a Jackie Chan film. You didn't see that type of thing usually in Jackie Chan flicks. So I like that it had started off with definitely a different tone and flavor. Eventually, he gets at least that cop to the emergency room. He's upset and tired because he cares for his fellow cops. Then he collapses because of his own injuries, and he recovers. So the actual plot of the film is this businessman that, I think around this time, there were people who had like a construction company, and so what they would do is they would get illegal people there, but have them do all the work. Then when the work is done and they don't want to pay the guys, immigration, those are illegals. I don't know you. I mean, they thought they could work here. The idea being is that you get free work out of them, and then instead of paying them, just call the authorities, and then they get put back to wherever they originally came from. So the guy that he's the guy that gets kidnapped. So the guy that gets kidnapped isn't really the most likable guy. So it's like, do I really care if he gets found out? Do I really care if the kidnappers are stopped because they got this asshole? It's kind of like, well, this asshole kind of gets what he deserves. Kind of that mentality. So I wasn't really into the story. I thought the middle portion very much slows down. Phone call after phone call, calling the kidnappers. There's this cop that works with Jackie Chan, and that cop, the actor's name is... Oh, I had it written down. Tint Chang. And you find out he's actually a corrupt cop who's working with the kidnappers. Kind of one of the head guys behind it, actually. Now, Tint Chang, I recognize this guy because there's a Category 3 Hong Kong film. Category 3 meaning violent as shit or intense. He starred in a film called Cut and Run, where because of some stuff he does, he gets in the middle of these bad guys. This one, if you watch Cut and Run, there's one scene at the end involving fire that's really fucked up. Really fucked up. And it don't play no games. It doesn't sugarcoat shit, I will say. Cut and Run is not the easiest movie to watch, I will say. It don't... Homie don't play that, so to speak. So I'm like, oh, okay, he's actually in this film as well. I forgot, because I saw this film first, way before that one, but I'm like, oh shit, I forgot that the guy who starred in that was in this movie, so thought that was cool to see. But, that guy, he's got the women, there's this bit where he tries to fuck this woman in an elevator, and pulls her panties down as a see-through elevator, so everybody's watching, and then he grabs her, and they go against the wall, and then they go somewhere else, I guess. Thankfully, you don't see the deed, especially any up close and personal, especially with this guy who's a bit on the bigger side. The lady was cute, though. But, yeah, the middle portion of the story just didn't do much for me. The whole bit with Jackie Chan, the psychological forte in his head, that just dropped pretty early on. They don't really delve more into that for Jackie Chan as a character. So he just goes back to being, the super cop. There's not a whole lot of action in the middle part of the movie, up until there's this police raid, and Jackie Chan escapes this building. You see the whole fucking building blowing up. Some good stunt work in there. And he's chasing these bad guys. And there's some pretty neat lighting. At one point, there's this place that has a bunch of, pink lighting. There's another place with this blue lighting. I thought that was kind of a cool aesthetic to have. Make it look a bit different. And there's a bit where Jackie Chan's chasing these guys. And it's this one-room ceiling. And so the floor is ready to fall apart, and you have to be careful, otherwise you fall right the fuck through. And how Jackie Chan maneuvers that. There's some cool stuff to be had in that. But eventually gets stopped because, unbeknownst to him, the correct cop does a few things to let the bad guys get away. But Jackie Chan starts noticing something is amiss, something's a bit up. There's a point they capture a suspect and Jackie Chan just beating the shit out of the guy. And then it kind of just slows down again, and I don't know, I wasn't really into the story, I wasn't really into the plot, or I don't think the side characters, there weren't really a whole lot of intriguing side characters. Like I said, with Jackie Chan, they kind of stopped delving into his character. Felt like they were going somewhere at the beginning, but they kind of stopped that. And at this point, I'm kind of just now waiting for the next action sequence. That may not sound fair, but I'm just being honest. There's a bit where the cops search this ship, this boat, and the bowels of the ship. Jackie Chan falls through, and the corrupt cop tries to fuck him over, and Jackie Chan's avoiding it, but then he goes through all these pipes. I'm getting good stunt work. Looks like it hurts like a sumbitch. Then when he lands on the ground, seems like the corrupt cop is going to put some blame onto him, so he wounds his own leg. Jackie Chan's able to find a door, unlock, go into the underwater aspects, and get the hell out of there. And tries to figure out what the hell's going on fully with this corrupt cop. He gets some regular clothes and eventually finds a set of bad guys where that's one of the only times you really get the Jackie Chan, the bit earlier when the floor's falling apart. I keep saying ceiling, but I just think of man, if you're up there. Anyway, ceiling, floor. One man's ceiling, another man's floor. That way to put it. Like that, and then this bit near the end is kind of the the few Jackie Chan type of fight scenes you get out of this. So in this bit, he's avoiding this guy who's trying to hit him with a shovel. At one point, he tips this guy into this glass, and it's like tubes and stuff, and there's a little bit of electricity, so the guy gets fried a bit. And good stuff. Because of some shenanigans going on, the building starts blowing up, and there's some nice wide shots where it seems like the whole fucking building is aflame. So definitely some good production value there. Eventually, he's trying to stop the corrupt cop from running away, but there's a kid. He saves the kid. The guy fucking locks the door on them. That's how much of an asshole he is. But then he gets his comeuppance and karma. He falls through the fucking floor because he was on fire. And he's wounded. And Jackie Chan, being the good guy, wants to get him out, but he can't. So he takes the kid and leave, and pretty much all this shit falls on the corrupt cop's fat ass. But before that, the guy told him some stuff. So Jackie Chan escapes the building before him and the kid are killed, gives the kid to the mom, has some information, passes along. They find this guy on a boat. They find him, they take care of business. The husband and the wife are reunited, and then the movie's over. So that's what I mean. Like I said, the story was never that fascinating to me. And the stuff with the corrupt cop, I'm like, okay. But I didn't really think that they did a whole lot of intrigue. If it's trying to make me feel, not sorry, but understand his plight, I'm like, no. I mean, the guy they're kidnapping is a dick, but if you want a guy that elicits sympathy, like the way Tent Chain played it, I don't know if that was the way to go, because I didn't really feel sympathy for the character. And as is, the few bits of action are fun to watch, but, and again, Jackie Chan trying to do something a little bit serious, I can appreciate. But honestly, when I watch this film, I'm sitting there going, I'll just watch Police Story, or Police Story 2, or Super Cop Police Story 3. Or even if he's not a cop, I'll rather watch Rumble in the Bronx, Operation Condor, Rush Hour 2. There's other Jackie Chan films I would rather watch. There's not... I know it came out on Blu-ray, like a new jazzy, spiffy edition. I don't need to pick it up. Yeah, I saw this film maybe twice before. Unless I get a request for, I don't know, I guess a commentary or something. It'll probably be the last time I see the film. Because I just don't think, for me, there's enough there to warrant rewatch. There's a couple of decent action parts. Nothing, other than looking like the building's going to fucking explode. There's nothing that you haven't seen a version of in another Jackie Chan. I mean, I know that's not fair to say, but it's just that Jackie Chan has done some of this stuff and done it better in other movies for me. Maybe something about the story was intriguing. You really get to know, like, if Jackie could really share and show more of his acting chops, really gravitas. I would say the closest was when he's getting upset that the motorcycle cops are so hurt when he's in the emergency room. If I could see more of that, maybe that would have been cool. As is though, like it's an okay film. It's an okay film for me. I don't mind it. Like I said, I never rewatch the film. I never go on my way to go back and see this again, but it is what it is. So take that for you will. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.